First and foremost, I would like to start off by giving all praises and blessings to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect, pushing this word in all truth and in sincerity, risking life and livelihood in so doing, especially in these days and times that we're living in. And as the scriptures say, if these days were not shortened, these evil days were not shortened, there should be no flesh left. All right. You have Elon, okay, Elon Muskie, all right. Elon Muskie, he's creating his AI to be discriminative against so-called black people. Okay, he's teaching his AI to be discriminative. Okay, I said it again, to so-called blacks. All right, and so this is another thing that we have to be up against. All right, with the AI, which is going to discriminate. Okay, because again, it's not AI. If it was AI, okay, it would be able to, it would be able to, really kind of think of on its own. But it's really not thinking on its own. It's really not, because it can't think, because it doesn't have a brain. It's just programmed. All right. Running off of computers that hold a lot of information. So it's just repeating the information that it has programmed. Like here I go, doing crazy shit. Salakia. But and so so he's teaching AI to discriminate against tongue twister against the Israelites. All right. You have Gil Bates. All right, Gil Bates and the Bates Motel. All right, from Norman, not to be disconnected from Norman Bates. All right, they're pretty much one and the same. You ever seen the Bates Motel? They're playing with the food. All right, so now you go to these places like Chipotle, where a lot of these places, they have this meat and you don't know where the hell this meat comes from, and a lot of this meat is genetic, is the organically lab grown meat. Okay, you're getting the chicken. Okay, it's the lab grown chicken. Okay, you know that chicken didn't have a bone in it. It was grown in a lab. All right, and they have factories of this garbage that's that's going around, and so everybody's feeling it. Everybody's against it, but yet they still are pushing it. While things that are beneficial to the people, they're creating legislation to go against it. Just look at what's going on right now in the Middle East. Okay, they're dropping bombs and ordinances that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. Things are being destroyed that hundreds of $millions, and yet and still you have a homeless problem. People can't get a house. People can't eat. Okay, and basically, most of you people, some have already woken up to understanding that they are expendable, and they're not playing the game. All right, and that's mostly the elect. Okay, they're not going to play the game, but hey, some of you are, you got to learn the hard way, and what the Most High has coming down the line now. Okay, a lot of you are going to be learning harder and harder, and I don't mean to be going on and on, but I'm driving right now, and I just wanted to do a quick video, all right, because and go into just some health benefits. I just wanted to waste some time. I didn't want to do like just a quick in and out, but Jake does have a short attention span, all right. And so I'm gonna Google, all right. This is personally for me. I don't know how. I was just thinking about health. Okay, like I said in the last video, health is wealth. Okay, and it's more than just eating. It's a peace of mind. Okay, having peace of mind is health. Okay, it's healthy. As our Lord and Savior, okay, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai said, you should not eat and survive off bread alone, but by each word that I say. All right. And so, they're going to be, the scriptures say, we shall eat our food defiled amongst these heathens, especially Esau Edom, the so-called white man. He's the biggest and the worst of the heathens, all right? And, he's accepted by, the 2/3 of our people, okay? His ways or his customs in one way or another, even if they don't really fuck with him, all right? They mess with some of his ways, his customs, all right? His doctrine, all right? So they have not cut the umbilical cord from this devil, all right? They're highly connected, all right? And, these words go over people. They think we just be talking the talk until it actually happens, okay? So, I'm not just talking the talk, all right? Hey, this is not my program, okay? This is the program of the Heavenly Father, whom the world ignorantly calls God, all right? And through his Son, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus, all right? Whose real name is Yahweh Yahweh Shai, and that's Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So, like I said, this was a video just on health. There's a few things that I've known for quite some time about health, and little remedies that I use. So I'm just gonna see if Google knows it, and I'm gonna run it through Google to see how much they know. All right, and so I'm gonna ask first.
Eating sardines, including the bones and skin, along with their oil, offers many health benefits. These include high-quality protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamins like D and B12. They also provide calcium, supporting bone, heart, and brain health while reducing inflammation. The packing oil, especially olive oil, adds extra beneficial fats. Sardine oil is used as a home remedy to support cardiovascular health, reduce inflammation, and improve skin and coat health in pets, thanks to its high omega-3 content. Historically, it has also been used to treat ailments like mumps, as a laxative, and as a nutrient-rich addition to food. Interested in learning more about the history of sardine oil? Tap the mic and ask, what is the history of sardine oil?
Yeah, so when I was younger, all right, Sardine oil would be put onto a t-shirt, an old t-shirt, and it would be put onto an old t-shirt and would be used to for an earache, if you had an ear infection, certain things. Sardine oil was used for and can be used for. So I do eat sardines. I don't eat them as much as I used to because, listen, as quick as we come out with these videos, all right, and we push it out. Look, these devils are right at it, and they're trying to go in and poison whatever it is that you're consuming, that we consume, or even with the guy Yaqui. All right, now Yaqui, that's actually my son's name. All right, that's my son's name, Yaqui. And so I had, growing up, I had just to tell you a story. I had a close friend who, at the time, he was a bit overweight. He, as a young boy, he was, overweight, and so, but as big as he was, and as overweight as this guy was, his name was Yaqui. All right, man, this guy could move like a feather, man. Okay, he could move like a feather. And especially in a game like basketball, man. I used to see this guy play basketball, man, and he could move, man, and go through the lane and drive to the lane and score, man. But he was just a heavier guy, man. And I said, man, that is amazing. Shit, that was amazing, man. And so I said, man, and then later he became a barber, and we childhood friends, grew up, and I said, I named my son really after him, okay? And I never even went into the meaning of his name, all right? But Yaqui, the herbologist, the holistic doctor, he goes into the into the herbs or whatever. But as quick as as quick as we reveal the benefits of these things, you have the medical association and these people who are basically going in and trying to undo. All right, they may make it hard, okay, to get these products, okay, so you can't get them, or they're just do something to where they're taking out of the nutritional benefits away from these products, because they for years they were telling you things like cereal and was good, and at one point in time it was good, okay, until but that doesn't benefit a doctor, okay? That doesn't benefit a doctor, okay, who's went to college to be a doctor, okay, and his profession is to be a doctor. Him having a good you having a good system doesn't benefit them. You having a good system doesn't benefit them. So, they do whatever they can to, keep you sick. All right. But there are a couple of recipes that are, still pretty much in use, that have some benefits. All right. But as, the elder apostles on down have always said, and we'll say, nothing beats prayer. We have to pray, okay? over our food when we can, and say a prayer for when we can't say a prayer, or when we forget to say a prayer for our food. Sometimes it can happen. You can just be hungry and just eat like that. And it's not that you're eating unthankfully, but sometimes that could happen. All right. And yeah, so we're gonna go to another. Just thought I saw my cousin, but
Kosher pickle juice can help relieve muscle cramps quickly. It also replenishes electrolytes, like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, and aids hydration, sometimes faster than water. The vinegar in it may also help stabilize blood sugar, and if fermented, it can provide probiotics for your gut.
Yeah, so let me see.
Pickle juice, the salty brine from fermented cucumbers, has a history of over 4,000 years. It was used in ancient Mesopotamia as a food preservative, and sailors and immigrants used it to preserve food. It gained modern fame in 2000 as a sports remedy for muscle cramps after an NFL game. Interested in learning more about its uses? Tap the mic and ask, what are pickle juice's benefits?
Now, I came across the benefits of pickle juice as a young child. I believe I had a fever one time, and when I was growing up, we used to be into pickles. Eating pickles. That was get your pickle juice. Get a what you call it, candy cane. Okay, and you didn't have to go to the doctor a lot then. You get a candy cane, you eat your pickle juice, put the pickle juice on your chips, okay? On your Flaming Hots or whatever. And then, you would eat it. But at one point in time, I think I had the flu or something, and I couldn't eat, but I was craving, the body was craving for the pickle and the candy cane. And so I remember that I ate it, and that I had recovery from it, right? And so, from time to time, I wasn't doing it all the time as a to help me out, but as I got older, and in a job that I was working, Esau, even at these companies. All right, these jobs, they know that you are invested in a 401k. They don't want you cashing out on that goddamn 401k. Okay? They don't want you cashing out on that. So, what they do and what they will do is they'll flip your hours. A lot of times your hours get flipped. And so, you have to change your hours to the diet, a diet. They got you, you if you eat, and then, some jobs like the job I work at, they do it a lot, and they do it intentionally, okay? There's a clock called that you're supposed to get sleep, and, you're supposed to eat food and, consume things. So, you got to understand, these people are the devil. They know exactly what they're doing. And so, with the clock and all that, okay, like I said, they'll have you working. Sometimes, your hours may be 5 a.m. to 12 o'clock, okay? And if you're working those hours, you're pretty much good, because you can have an intermittent meal time to where you don't eat before you go to sleep. But at some of these other times, okay, you're eating where you should be sleeping, where your body is used to sleeping and resting. And so, this devil, again, like I said, this man is the deaf. The so-called white man is deaf. Okay, according to the scriptures. I'm not, that's according to the scriptures, all right? So we know this, and we've learned this through the scriptures, right? And so, I was having gut issues, acid reflux, because I was switching eating schedules. I was switching times when I would eat. So I was having acid reflux. And I couldn't take nothing to relieve the acid reflux. Everything I was trying to, I was trying to take with none of it cure my acid reflux. I think the only thing that kind of came close was this yogurt that I was getting from Walmart. There was a yogurt that Walmart was selling, and it kind of worked, but it didn't heal it. It didn't heal it. And so, I started drinking the pickle juice. The pickle juice that was from my pickles. And that relieved my acid reflux a lot. Salakia for me hesitating. But that relieved my acid reflux a lot. The pickle juice. Drinking the pickle juice. And so, I was just here thinking, and I said, let me, some of these remedies, I would share, okay? And to each his own, okay? To each his own. So, that's, just something that I just wanted to share, okay? And, Lord willing, you're edified and it's helpful, okay? Maybe these things could benefit you if, you try them, you research them, all right? And, until next time, Shalom.